And we don't sit up there and get to tell you your daddy had a little dick, so you should want mine. And yet you tell us your mama black. Just because my mama black, my mama fucked my daddy, and I wouldn't be with anybody who fucked my daddy. My mama titties is on her lap. I wouldn't want a woman whose titties is on their lap. These are ridiculous things to say.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We have a really good discussion panel. I watched a little bit of it, but I didn't go too deep. That's what she said. We have a good discussion panel with Tommy, and I watched a little bit of it. He's flaming and spitting facts again. So I'm probably going to split this up into three, how I did the last one, because it is a little lengthy, and I don't want to overload somebody. So this is part one. You can listen to this while you're at the gym, maybe at work. But without further ado, let's get right into it.
So what's your thought, Japrice?
Well, I came in when Ro and Mr. Tommy was going back and forth.
Okay.
And ladies, I agree with Tommy. So it's just pretty much like the back and forth with Ro and Tommy. It just kind of proved his point a little bit. So yeah, take it how you have it.
And what point was that she furthered exactly? Tommy, appreciate you.
That pretty much Black women are very combative. They can't like take a back seat. They can't shut up and like it's like their ego is very, like Black women's ego is very huge. So
and Japrice, to clarify, where is your daddy from?
My dad is from here. He's from America.
Yeah. How about your mommy?
My mom is American.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because you keep saying Black women, they may assume, whatever.
Well, I mean, like Black women, if I'm in it, then I'm in it as well. But Black women, yeah. We're all brought up the same way. I may not exhibit those behaviors, but they represent me and represent them. So if Black women are combative as a whole, then I guess I'm combative too. Even though I don't personally possess those traits, but
yeah, no, I hear you.
As a whole, yeah.
And that's why when if I can say this, when she asked why am I here, that's why, man. When you're trying to get people on your side to go against someone, that's why I was trying to say earlier. A lot of Black men are in jail. My grandmother used to say Black men end up in jail or in hell dealing with Black women. My grandmother was Black. She talked about that mentality of if you don't agree with me, I'm going to try to get people to turn on you. We could have had a back and forth, but there was no reason to try to get the other people in the crowd to dislike me and then call them a name if they like what I'm saying. When the point of a panel at all times should be to hear the sides. And I don't mean to lead anyone. I don't want people to think like me. This is one of my favorite sayings. I don't want you to think like me, but I do want you to think. If you see something, you hear something, at least think about it. Take what you have as facts. Use it. That woman said the same thing I say. I'm a Black man, but I know I get painted with a brush because they look at us the same way. That's why when I went on Fox, I knew not to portray myself a certain way, because if I did something that made all of us look bad, then they would have an excuse to say, look at what they do. So even if I'm saying something, this was the perfect time for you, ma'am, you, Ro, and the other woman. If I say y'all are combative, you know the best way to beat me? Make me look like a fool by not being.
Yeah. We had a talk before, just real quick. We went on another show, and I talked to some of the ladies like, yo, don't get out of frame, strengthen your arguments, stay away from some of the ad hominems, right? Now, did I tell them not to use some of their tactics in debate? No, I didn't tell them. So they deflect a little bit, ask confusing questions, but for all intents and purposes, we took that W, but they stayed in frame though. But this is a genuine conversation. I just fear, are we strengthening our arguments or are we falling into the trap? Because Tommy set a trap on purpose to prove his point. And unfortunately, we played into it. And Rose saying no. So you're saying what he said didn't? You saying we had to respond in kind to his energy when he came on?
I I personally, I just think, as I said before, I don't see what the point is. If we're doing this from a woman's point of view, and we have men come up on here and talk about everything negative about us, not one positive thing about Black women, I don't really see the point.
Well,
Because
you
when you
wouldn't have
ask,
anything
Hey,
positive
bro,
if
can
you're
I ask you?
asking
Can I ask you
someone,
a question,
why
real,
am I
real
not
quick,
getting
though?
Think about it. If you ask, why am I not getting hired? Why would they say nice things about you? If you ask, why am I not whatever it is? If I ask, why am I not getting
No,
pussy? You think a woman would say nice things about me? Serious question. Why am
Well,
I not elicits good things? Why don't I have an A in the class? Do you think the teacher would tell you good things? It makes no sense. You put
yeah,
somebody in a trick bag. You proved it. If I ask why won't women talk to me, I promise you I'm not going to get them telling me how handsome I am.
yeah.
so
I mean, but that comes into, you have to look at it from majority of women, especially in America, are taught that everything they do is just so special and they're never held accountable. So when you give them something like, hey, you need to fix this, they take it as an insult instead of taking it as, okay, he or she, they're trying to make me better. Whoever's telling me this, they're trying to make me better. But especially in the Black community, the Black woman is God. She can do no wrong. So when you finally, when women are finally old enough in their late 20s or early 30s, where like people are really holding them to a standard, they take it as, oh, he's attacking me, because you've been taught from since you were born until late 20s, early 30s that you're God's gift, that you're so special, that you can do no wrong. So this is why it's so hard and why they're so combative and why they give people so much pushback. This is a lot of Western women in America, but in particular, specifically, Black women do this.
he absolutely wrote. He absolutely took the point, the question that I was about to ask you. The same thing, right? If you look at the topic of the show, there is not one good answer for that question.
y'all
Not one.
do this every week. It's
Okay,
not.
but
But
right now, see, right now we're not. I'm not. Wait, bro. I'm not debating you, so you don't have to use any debate tactics, right?
you're not debating. I'm telling you, you do this every
Oh,
week. I
I'm
mean,
not
you can
here
talk
every
about
week.
this one topic,
I'm
but
not
you
here
y'all
every
do
week
this
either.
every
I
I'm
was
week.
just
not
back.
here. Like, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I literally try my best not to come when y'all here because I don't want to do this with y'all.
So why you here? That don't make any sense. Why you coming on here then?
Did he freeze?
Not Tommy. Why you want to argue with me? I haven't said
Arguing
anything
with you.
disrespectful to you all night long. I'm trying to
You
give you my
saying
point of view,
stuff.
and look how you
You're
talking.
saying you're talking the talk right now, because what you're saying is you try hard not to come on here, but you coming on here.
No, I said I try not to come. I try hard not to come on here when y'all here, because I don't want to do this with you, right? Because I actually do love and rock with Black women. I don't want to argue with them, right? So this was my point earlier. You made a point to Hemp. You said that you can't remember a time that a dude came up here and talked to the women like Tommy said. Is that like Tommy did? Is that correct?
That is correct.
Can you remember a time where the men have been talked to the way Tommy talked to people on the panel today? Yes or no?
I don't understand your question. What are you saying?
Are the men talked to? Can you remember a time when the
Yes, I
men were
can.
spoken to the way that Tommy spoke to people today?
I'm saying that there are times where the conversations get heated and they have just yes. Yeah, to answer your
Right.
question.
But by your own account, the men don't talk to the women that way, but the men get talked to that way. So this is what I'm saying. When you put a title up to say, why am I not getting approached, which literally elicits all negative commentary. That's all it elicits. And then the fellas come up and they give the negative commentary that the title is asking for, and then they get pushback and criticism and all of the tropes about what Black men are and aren't and why they shouldn't even be talking. I'm asking you, as a person who I believe is intelligent, do you think that makes sense?
I don't think that makes sense, but I also believe, from me being
Oh
on the
my
panel
goodness.
majority of the weeks, that y'all very rarely come on here and say anything positive about Black women.
So
Can't
I'm
say
no
that about
different
me.
then. So wait a minute. So what she's saying is, after she went through this whole charade telling people I did something that nobody else does, she then turned around and
said, I said like how you did, where you are cursing them out.
Right. Yeah.
Well, when I started off, but when I started off, I was cursed. The woman even said it. I was just on a soliloquy. I wasn't cursing anyone out. They got upset at my soliloquy.
But the point is this. Hold on real quick.
Go ahead.
The point is this, bro. Like, I even appreciate you include me in a comment that you made earlier about him. I didn't expect it. And it meant a lot. I intentionally try not to argue with black women. I do. This is why I don't come on here with y'all, because I don't be wanting that issue. Right? So I just want, what I really want is for you, right, to give some of the guys a chance to understand that a lot of the time, some of these guys, I don't want to speak for nobody particularly, even though I want to say unpopular truth for some reason. Some of these guys really want you all's attention. And I don't mean that like in a sucker simp way. I mean it like, man, can some of these women, can some black women, you are on a panel, we got all these people watching, can somebody hear us out? Can somebody hear our cries? Can we get one woman? This is what I always wanted from women on my panel, bro. If you on my panel and it's a man up there saying, man, these women be talking to me like this, and they be acting like this, and they be behaving like this, and they doing this with my kids. What we want from the women is to go, you know what? Sometimes the reason why we doing that, because we be feeling like this, and we be thinking this, and we be going through this, and we probably experienced this, and it's carrying over to this. Not, well, what about the men? But y'all ain't shit. Y'all don't even make no damn money. White men doing way better than y'all, right? To prove that I'm balanced, though, do you know what made me hit the link? And if Hemp don't mind, he probably can still see it. It's in the chat. You know what made me hit the link? Because this nigga Tommy, and I don't mean nigga disrespectfully, but this nigga Tommy says 70% of black boys are raised by mothers alone. That shit triggered the fuck out of me because it's absolutely untrue by a mile, right? And I'm like, why the fuck do we always say stupid ass shit like this on these panels that's nowhere near true, that make black people look fucking bad? But I just came up and I let things play out because I didn't want it to seem like I came up to attack Tommy, because we technically have a little bit of history. You see what I'm saying? But that's why I came up, to say that is not the truth, to defend black people, black women, black children, black fathers. So
let me tell you something. I had to stop because I feel like I wanted to address two things. The first thing is, he's talking to a wall. Ro, if they cut the cameras off right now and Ro went to her friend and they were like, hey girl, like what were they talking about? She would say, oh, they were jumping on me again. They weren't really talking about anything. And but he's right though. So many black men in particular, so many men, but black men in particular, we love our women, but we don't want to talk to y'all because it's going to turn into an argument. Y'all cannot take criticism. And it's so frustrating when every time we try to tell you about yourselves, then it becomes, well, what about you? Well, this is what you do. Instead of listening, you feel like everything is a battle. Y'all are so chaotic, and just so, I have to, so argumentative that we can never get anything done.
All the same. So sometimes when guys are telling y'all what they think, it ain't to fucking be on some black woman bashing shit. These guys literally have experiences, and we want you all to be the voice of reason for us, because we might not have that in our own lives.
Can I respond to that?
Go ahead.
Beans, I think that you make some solid points, and I appreciate you being here this evening. So
thank you, Dana.
I've learned two things tonight, okay? The first thing, y'all as a whole, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, and I don't mean it condescendingly, okay? You guys sound very hurt as a whole, as a gender.
There it is.
From
Absolutely.
us.
The shame
from us, okay? So I get that. But along those lines, when we're saying to you that we're feeling hurt by you, and the perfect example was given by Tommy by saying, I'm going to tell you guys why you're not getting approached. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do things and I'm going to say things to elicit a response to trigger you and have you come out of pocket And then when you come out of pocket, see, that's what's wrong with you black bitches. Like, we were cool. We could have just had a regular conversation, but instead you were made to look or made to be triggered or made to whatever specifically from y'all. And that shit hurts too, because then there's this rampage and there's a fucking 4-hour long conversation about how our conduct is wrong, how we, attack you all. And it's like, we could have just had a whole, like, that was so unnecessary. And I don't appreciate it. I appreciate the conversation and the banter that followed subsequently, some of it anyway, but it just created dissension for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
Okay.
If it hadn't been that, it never would have gotten, he wouldn't have gotten that response.
Okay, so let me be candid real quick. Tommy was the fourth battle. That he wasn't the first battle. So like, and here's another thing that we have an issue doing. And I talk to Love because we do a lot of planning extensively. Like, you don't have to refute every single thing that's said, but we get caught up on these fucking rabbit holes. So if somebody says something that we don't like men are jerking off because they won't want to deal with your mouth, you can say, interesting. Okay. And then you pose a question that makes the men stand on something why they not approaching. Absolutely. But instead, we want to say, oh, these niggas ain't jerking off for real. They just pussy and don't want to go. No, understand it and say, okay, well, you think there's fear somewhere in that process? And then men can say, because what I'm thinking is that niggas is scared to approach. But we didn't even get to that part because we telling niggas that they jerking off because they scared of pussy. Like that you have to argue the points.
Yeah.
And and I just think we get so caught up on what we don't like to hear or we don't like how it's said. And I'm just like, we don't further our conversations.
Dana, did y'all watch the show earlier? Did y'all watch the show from earlier, Dana?
No, I had to work.
Man, y'all see, look, y'all would have, they would have had all the ammo in the world for rebutting the men on why we are not getting approached, because Hamp set up a whole little test thing, right? And I think, if I remember correctly, only me and Hink passed. All the rest of the guys failed. Y'all could have used that shit against them.
No.
Well, let me tell you why we failed, though. Because I thought Hamp was asking us, was we funny, trying to be funny. I didn't know he was trying to spit some game. I thought he was be funny. He's telling me tell a joke. But I get what you're saying, though.
Have you guys noticed that men have to deal with way more than women? Like, we have to deal with your dick too little, you didn't fuck long enough, your money ain't long enough, you bald, whatever it is, we have to accept that you ain't 6 feet. We literally are used to getting rejected so much that we're not going to sit around argue at that fact somebody didn't call us a king, or somebody says that 70% of black men do this, or whatever the fuck. We're not arguing because we say, you know what? I have to overcome every day of my life obstacles. I go into work at a job and I got to overcome these white people think I'm stupid. I go into get pulled over by the cops and I got to overcome that this cop might think I'm a thug or got a gun. We overcome almost every day of our lives. And black men will tell you this right now. We do. So we can't sit around and just be that triggered that a woman groups us as black men. We just overcome it. If you think niggas from Atlanta gay, I'm going to overcome it. If you think niggas under 6 feet got little dick, I'm going to overcome it. I'm not going to beat myself up against the wall. And if a woman just doesn't like me, who I am, you know what I'll do? Go to one that does. I'm not going to say that your daddy black, therefore you should like me. Because let me tell you what, a lot of y'all women who are asking for men with 6 figures, your daddy didn't make 6 figures. A lot of y'all women who are asking for men who over 6 feet, your daddy 5'3". And we don't sit up there and get to tell you, your daddy had a little dick, so you should want mine. And yet you tell us, your mama black. Just because my mama black, my mama fucked my daddy, and I wouldn't be with anybody who fucked my daddy. My mama titties is on her lap. I wouldn't want a woman whose titties is on their lap. These are ridiculous things to say.
All right, that's the end of part 1. Click here for part 2. See you there.